Hey, what's up guys, as Nair, and the last time I did kind of, not too overkill or not too low end kind of PC, but I did kind of mid-range, it was kind of amazing. It was priced at around $850 and it was a Ryzen build and is the exact same thing I'm gonna do in this video too, but in this case, it's gonna be an overkill. I mean overkill $1,500 gaming PC. That is again going to showcase the Ryzen because I'm honestly a huge fan of Ryzen right now. The kind of performance AMD gives with that kind of price point, competing directly with the Intel's high-end Extreme 6900K and other kind of processors. That is really awesome. So in that case, I love Ryzen, so most of my PC might have Ryzen as the main component in that. And this is again an overkill PC. Most of you guys won't have that kind of money to afford this. I mean, it's $1,500 PC. And it's again going to show off NVIDIA's highest flagship GPU, that is the GTX 1080 Ti. So let's start it with this $1,500 overkill gaming PC. And this PC is not just meant for 1080p. If you guys do not have a 1080p monitor, then I don't recommend you guys to use this, but there are several other technologies which you can overscale your resolution to 4K or 1440 using the DSR, that is the dynamic super resolution, which is offered by NVIDIA. So without any further ado, let's get straight into it with the CPU. For the CPU, as I said, I'm with the AMD Ryzen 7 1700X 3.5 GHz 8-core processor for only $389. Now, $389 for a CPU itself is kind of big, but considering it's a huge amount, $1,500 PC, this $389 is just a drop in the pond actually. But this CPU, the Ryzen 7 1700X, which is kind of a predecessor of the Ryzen 7 1800X, which is the highest and extreme CPU that Ryzen 7 is offered by AMD. 1700X, don't get me wrong, the 1080 Ti is not going to get borderline with this CPU. At 1080p, it can manage it. But as I said, this PC is not specifically meant for 1080p. So this CPU is not a bad choice. And it's only priced at $389. Now, there might be, questions regarding why not go with a Kaby Lake 7700K due to the fact that for the multi-threaded applications, Ryzen 7 is like awesome. CPU is just amazing in every task, especially in live streaming and playing at the same time. The CPU is just great, and it's only $389, and for the Kaby Lake 7700K, it's about $349, just a bit more, but the performance you're getting is also top-notch for this price. It's not, price is more than the performance. You're getting the same thing, so it's not a, not value thing. It's really having a good value. Now for the CPU cooler, you do know that you don't get a CPU cooler with the Ryzen 7 1700X itself. So what I meant is that the most of the time, if you have watched my every PC build, the CPU cooler I go with is Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. But this time, I just want to change a little bit things. Who doesn't like a change? So I went with the liquid cooler. That is the Corsair H60 CFM liquid CPU cooler for $65. Liquid cooler, this also does a great job for overclocking if you want to overclock it to like 4.7 to 4.8 gigahertz. Ryzen is amazing in overclocking also, so you can just do that with the CPU cooler. So it's only for $65. So a pretty good deal for $65. Now for the motherboard, I'm in the Asus Prime B350 plus ATX AM4 motherboard for $100. Now, you know me, I don't want to spend that much money on a motherboard, and actually as the CPU is just new, so these motherboards AM4 socket is also kind of new, so manufacturers are updating their motherboards into new things, so it's obviously going to price a little bit more. So for $100, it's not a bad deal at all. It's an extremely awesome deal. You're not missing anything. You have all what you want. It's got 4 RAM slots which supports DDR4 memory up to maximum memory of 64 gigabytes. It's got RAID support, it's got Crossfire support, no SLI support, but that's not a huge deal because NVIDIA itself, it's not implementing the SLI support anymore. Well, they do, but SLI is just not the technology every game takes support of. I honestly don't recommend using SLI. It's a single GPU is better than 2 GPUs. It's got 6 out of 6 gigabit per second ports and onboard USB 3 headers. So as I said, for $100, you're not missing anything. So that's the motherboard for $100. You're not missing anything. It's an extremely awesome motherboard. Now for the memory, on the Corsair Vengeance LPX 16 gigabytes to 8 gigabyte sticks running at DDR4 2133 MHz for $100. I went with the 16 gigabytes because it's, come on, it's an overkill $1,500 gaming PC. So that's why I went with the 16 gigabyte memory. So this is priced at $100. I honestly don't know what's going on with the prices of the memory, but it is bad. The memory prices are too much right now. Even for 8 GB DDR4, it's $65, which was $40 right back in 2016. Mid of 2016, it was like $45. I don't know what's going on, but it's not good. So that's the memory I went, 16 gigabytes. That is two 8 gigabytes. 60 if you wanna go for 32 gigabytes. Option is still there. The motherboard supports 4 RAM slots up to maximum memory of 64 gigabytes. So if you wanna go till 64 gigabytes, that option is just there. Now for the storage, I have the two options. One is the mechanical drive, that is the Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 terabyte for $50. This is like my primary choice for any gaming PC. It's just the best hard drive you can get, and it's only for $50. And thank God the prices are not increasing or decreasing with this product. So it's a constant throughout. Even in 2016 and in this 2017, the price is just constant. Now for the SSD, I went the Sandisk SSD plus 120 gigabyte 2.5 inch solid state drive. So this SSD has a capacity of 120 gigabytes. I think that's pretty much enough for SSD. Like 1 terabyte SSD is gonna be like too much. 120 gigabyte is all what you need if you want to put your OS on it and main applications, if you're editing and all that kind of stuff, which you want to load faster, or any games which takes a lot of time to boot up on a mechanical drive, you can just put that. So that's a pretty good deal for $49. Now for the main part, that is the video card. I have the Evga Geforce Gtx 1080 Ti 11 gigabytes SC2 video card for $749. I mean, $749 for just a component of a PC. That's the majority part of the the sum when we take off all the other components. $749, but it's kind of worth it. The value you have with this 1080 Ti is just the best. I mean, it even crosses the NVIDIA Titan X Pascal. It even crossed the NVIDIA GTX 1080. It even crossed the NVIDIA GTX Titan X Maxwell. Every card, I mean, the Titans were priced at $1,200, and the 1080 at the launch time was about $800 to $700, mid between that. And the 1080 Ti with the launch price is $749. And it just crushes the 1080 in each and every games, with getting 40% plus FPS increase in every games. So this video card, you can just max out every games at 4K, getting 60 to 50 frames per second. At 1080p, it just crushes through the frames per second. I mean, like, you're gonna get 100 plus FPS in every game. So let's say Crysis 3, let's say Rise of the Tomb Raider, Tom Clancy's The Division, Ghost Recon Wildlands. Each and every games with the CPU, you can just max out at 4K, getting 50 to 60 frames per second, because this video card is just a beast in any games. Now for the case, I'm in the usual thing, Deepcool Tesseract SW-ATX mid-tower case for $41. As I told, a best case for $40. You do have many other options, like the NZXT S340 and something else, but this case is a really good. It's also got some lighting effect, but just for $41, and that's great. Now for the power supply, I'm in the EVGA 600B 600 watt 80 plus bronze certified power supply for $50. I just don't go above that, because the total power consumption for this whole build was something about 450 to 500 watts. So 600 watts, all what you need. So summing up all the prices, it's about $1,560 to $50, but with all the mail rebates and all the other stuff you can get for approximate $1,500. So that's been it, an overkill gaming PC which you can max at 4K and get 60 FPS. Anyways, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. As always, definitely be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.